Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I hope that everybody is having a good day. I cannot say good morning because, of course, good morning is over here, but in Indonesia it's good afternoon, and in some part of the world it's a different time. My name is Dr. Farrukh Habib, and I'm the co-founder of Alif Technologies. What we are doing is focusing on Islamic fintech and halal digital economy. And I'm very much pleased to speak in this session on the topic of zakat on blockchain. Mashallah, previous presenters have covered a lot regarding the conceptual and the practical aspects of zakat on blockchain, and Alhamdulillah, they have made my task very easier. But inshallah, I will be focusing on some of the developments in the blockchain area, and how they can benefit zakat institutions and management. So, but there might be some repetition in my presentation, because I want to basically make sure that everybody is on the same page. So, like I will be touching on some of the basic concepts first, and then go into the more advanced concepts. So as you know that the concept of charity in Islam is very big. It's not only confined to financial charity or giving up some money, but even Islam has a complete ecosystem. So if you look at the forms of sadaqah, so we see that even visiting sick people and removing harmful things from the road, guiding someone to the right way, talking to someone softly, even smiling at your brother to make him pleased is a form of sadaqah. So I think the concept of sadaqah from the religious point of view is very strong, especially in the religion of Islam, and that's why Islam provides us a complete Islamic philanthropic ecosystem. So although scholars have come up with different categorization of philanthropic activities, but the one I have chosen is actually zakat and sadaqa wajiba and sadaqa nafila. And you might have seen that even some scholars have put zakat under sadaqa wajiba, which is like obligatory sadaqah, but due to its importance, I think it is crucial to treat it separately, and then it has some special place as well in the Islamic fiqh and literature. And in sadaqa wajiba also we have different forms of sadaqa. So like sadaqatul fitr, fidya, kafara, udhiya, and nadar. And in sadaqa nafila, we have different categories as well. Sadaqa nafila are actually voluntary charity or voluntary sadaqat. For example, sadaqa jariya, qalb hasan, aqiqa, waqaf, or sadaqa nafila. So you can see that there are so many different instruments playing their role in the society to promote social finance, and also elevate the poverty and distribute the wealth among the whole society and all the segments of the society and of an economy. So in that way, I think that Islam provides a complete philanthropic ecosystem. So let me just say, give you a basic explanation of zakat, and then I will move to some of the technological aspects of it. So zakat is defined as in the Sharia as fixed portion of wealth that an owner of nisab must pay annually to poor and needy Muslims, as prescribed in the Quran and the Sunnah. So we can see that there are certain criteria which are which are needed to be fulfilled before somebody gives zakat. And not only that, the collection of zakat has some criteria, but the distribution of zakat is also has some criteria as well, which are which are explained in a detailed manner in the book of Islamic jurisprudence, and also other Islamic literature. And most importantly, I would like to highlight one point over here, is that people sometimes like they define zakat as a tax, but they say that it is not a tax levied on everybody, but it's a religious tax or Islamic tax. So I think that that notion is not correct, because it's a form of worship. And when we offer salat, we perform a work, an act, we perform an act of worship with our body. That's when we pay zakat, we are actually performing an act of worship with our money and and the finances we have. So this needs to be very clarified, and this needs to be stressed upon, because we should not be considering as a form of tax. It's a form of worship. And then the importance of zakat, like in my previous slide, I was talking about the importance of zakat. So it is basically the third pillar of Islam, and we see that like Quran ranks zakat after obligatory prayers in terms of its importance. So like we have seen many times Quran has mentioned zakat after salat. Salat is obligatory prayer. So, and it has been actually interlinked with prayer 20 times in the Quran. So from there, you can see that how important it is from the religious point of view, and also it is important from the social point of view as well. And there are certain conditions mentioned in Quran and Sunnah and in the book of Islamic jurisprudence, where the conditions can be followed and can be implemented. And this is important to know, understand that how these conditions and the nexus of condition has been developed into an ecosystem. Because later on, when we try to talk about, when we will be talking about smart contracts, then we need to see that like how smart contracts can be coded so that like all the conditions can be met of, and all the conditions of zakat can be met. So like previous speaker, Inchik Ahmad also mentioned, and Dr. Mothas also mentioned about the blockchain technology and introduction. So let me just give you a basic information first, and then delve into some other concepts. So like, what is blockchain? It is actually a distributed digital ledger technology to keep records of anything of value. Now, in this definition, I think the most important thing is that people think that uh, blockchain is only for crypto assets, but actually it is not for those transactions only where you send one Bitcoin to another. Although like this is the most used case and the example which has been given the most, but you can actually tokenize or transform anything of value into a crypto asset, and then can exchange it on blockchain platform. And blockchain is able to actually keep the record of that value and the transaction, and can track the complete history of changing hands as well, and changing ownership. And blockchain is a chain of block, like Inchik Ahmad also mentioned it, that contains information. And each block consists of several transactions, and each transaction is recorded into a form of hash. So hash is actually a cryptographic technique to ensure that the data is exchanged safely and securely. Now, if you look at the features of blockchain, the most important in my view is decentralization. Interestingly, this this feature has been actually not stressed upon so much. And although like it is the most important feature, but it has not been explored and implemented in a manner that that blockchain would be able to actually show its true potential. And another good feature, the second most important one, is actually P2P and disintermediation. So, for example, blockchain can provide you a completely P2P network without any unnecessary intermediation. So, like it promotes disintermediation, and with disintermediation, I see that the cost of the cost of administration and governance can be reduced drastically, number one. And number two is like we can also achieve efficiency. Uh, Third most important feature is actually immutability. When you have put the data into a blockchain, so it is really difficult to actually almost impossible to change that data. But again, it depends on the type of the blockchain itself as well, like whether it's a private blockchain, semi-private, or the consortium blockchain, or it is a public blockchain. Because in a public blockchain, of course, it is very, very difficult, almost impossible to change data as compared to private blockchain. Because if the private blockchain is maintained, it is less difficult to change the data in it, because it would be governed by only one node or few nodes only, which are actually within the organization itself. And then another strong feature of blockchain is that it's actually a distributed ledger technology. Distributed in the sense that there is no one point of failure, so it has multiple copies of it, and then you can maintain all the copies, and you can upgrade and update those copies of the data in real time, almost in real time. So because of that, it does not have any one point in failure or centralized point. That's why it is distributed and decentralized. And then since it is distributed and all the copies are maintained in a manner that they are updated in real time, so they are very transparent. So data can be seen from them without manipulating it, and it is easily auditable as well. And another good feature of blockchain is anonymous and private, because it uses, like I said, hash and or cryptographic technique and hash function. Because of that, people are able to maintain anonymity, or the parties of the transaction or the nodes are themselves. They can actually maintain the anonymity and privacy without and while doing the transactions or while exchanging the data. So this has been possible due to cryptographic hash. So all these features are actually very strong in blockchain, and these features actually make blockchain different from a normal a database or a traditional database. Because let me just tell you another thing, that fundamentally traditional database is different from blockchain database, in the sense that uh, that the more those databases are centralized, and if you try to distribute them among the network, then the more fragile they will become. So this is the thing, that they will be more prone to security attacks, and also the cyber risk as well. So unlike this, unlike traditional blockchains, unlike traditional databases, blockchain is something which can be distributed as much as possible, and it uses this distribution as its strength, and it becomes more and more secure when it is uniformly and well distributed. So if you look at the blockchain evolution, so we had blockchain 0.0, which like certain parts of blockchains were developed. For example, cryptographic encryption technique to achieve anonymity of the transacting parties was developed in 1989 and by David Chaum. And then cryptographically secured chain of data blocks was introduced in 1992. And then Merkle trees were also embedded in those cryptographically secure chain of data of blocks by Haber and Stornetta later in 1994. And then solving computational puzzles as proof of work was also introduced later in 2005. And then decentralized consensus algorithms were introduced in 1998, and reusable proof of work again, proof of work was introduced in 2004. So if you can see, like the building blocks of blockchain were already there since 1989 to 2005, 4 and 5. So in that sense, we can consider that that was the period when blockchain 0.0 was there. But in 2009, blockchain 1.0 was introduced, by which combined all these features, which combined all these building blocks. Through the inception of blockchain, we see that Satoshi Nakamoto was able to combine all these blocks and then formed the blockchain itself. So we see that like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripples, they were all using blockchain 1.0, where the basic building blocks were there and the basic features of blockchain was there. And purely P2P electronic payment systems were introduced through blockchain in the form of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and Namecoin, etc. And then all these blockchains or the use cases were using the protocol of proof of work to arrive at a consensus. Combination of all the previous concepts as building blocks were there. Then we have seen it was on this era, I would say, like it is from 2009 to 2013. And then we have seen blockchain 2.0 starting from 2014. So in that from this in that period, we see Namecoin, Ethereum, Monero, Neo, Stellar were the most famous use cases. And these blockchains were able to integrate smart contracts. And not only that, like these blockchains were also able to use different protocols other than proof of work. They were using proof of stake. And then the concept of separating cryptocurrencies from blockchain, or crypto assets from blockchain, was also started reaping in the minds of the researchers. So people have started thinking that, okay, how blockchain can be used in a permissioned environment or a consortium environment. So we see that Quorum, Hyperledger, and Sawtooth were actually developed. These were the blockchains which were the blockchain platforms for different purposes, but not specifically for crypto assets or cryptocurrencies. And then we also see that the microtransactions were integrated. So like the ability of having microtransactions was also there, and crypto exchanges were developed, and then record of transfer of other assets. This is the idea of that we, instead of having only transactions of crypto assets, we can have these blockchains as a record of transfer of other assets. Moving on to blockchain 3.0, from 2016 and 17, we see that Cardano, EOS, Ion, Zilliqa, they were developed. These were the use cases where they were able to also use the advanced form of smart contracts, which are called decentralized applications, dApps. And then in terms of token offering, we see like STO's security token offering and IEO's exchange offerings were also there. So instead of initial coin offering ICOs, which were the part of blockchain 2.0. And then we see that focus on transactions per seconds was in scalability, interoperability, adaptability, sustainability, and privacy. These were the features which were focused in blockchain 3.0. Now, blockchain 4.0, we haven't seen it yet, but I think that blockchain 3.0, the era of this will be from 2017 to 2020, or 2020 or 2022. From 2022, the trend suggests that we will see the industrial application of blockchain, and decentralized autonomous organizations will be part of blockchain, and cross-chain functionality and inter-blockchains data exchange. This feature is very strong because right now these blockchains cannot communicate with each other. So moving forward from 2022, we would see that these blockchains, different blockchains will be able to communicate with each other. And then we will also see that there is a combination of other technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT devices, and big data. For example, like IoT devices will be able to communicate on blockchain with each other as well. So this is I think that would be happening after 2022, and we would call it blockchain 4.0 because it will have a huge industrial application. Let me just say that uh, the decentralization concept is very important in my opinion, because decentralization will be the basis of decentralized autonomous organizations. And where we are right now is that like we are only talking about uh, in terms of zakat only, crypto zakat. So like we have few organizations like a masjid in UK has collected zakat in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we also have a few organizations like Global Sadaqah accepting zakat in Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. And Blossom Finance is not actually a charitable organization in Indonesia, but they are also providing service if to the people who would like to pay zakat in cryptocurrencies or crypto assets. So these are the things where we are at the moment. So we are very I am it was enlightening for me to listen to the presentation of Inchik Ahmad, where he said that we already have the basic building, basic structure and platform of blockchain in Basnas, which is very good. And now we have seen that few people are moving towards crypto zakat, but there are many challenges for crypto zakat. Number one is that we can see that there are so many fluctuations in terms of value of crypto zakat is one. Sharia compliance is another problem because the criteria is not very clear. Although, like Alhamdulillah, I have been able to create my own criteria to screen crypto assets for their Sharia compliance. So this is one thing. We need to have a bigger platform where we can basically promote this criteria to distinguish Sharia compliant crypto assets from the non-Sharia compliant crypto assets one. Third one, the most important thing is like legal and regulatory requirements are also not matured enough to have a system based on crypto assets for zakat. But I think that by things are moving very fast, and by the time we will be maturing in terms of the on the conventional side, then zakat and other philanthropic system will also move on, because in conventional philanthropic movement, we have already seen that not only crypto philanthropic phenomena has been implemented successfully, but we also see that the blockchain blockchainizing the philanthropic system has also already been done. And now they are moving towards the decentralized autonomous organization for in terms of governance and administration, where the fund providers are actually the dictator or the movers of the funds. So they can actually admin the funds themselves. Not only that, they can also see the full traceability, auditability, and transparency for their funds, and they can actually set the conditions for their own funds. So we have seen in the conventional space, like Pineapple Fund has already distributed almost $86 million in terms of in the form of BTC, and we also have seen UNICEF has already adopted crypto philanthropic phenomena, and they are moving towards the blockchain philanthropic phenomena. Binance Charity Foundation is also a very good example, and there are other few examples where they are already in the second phase, which I call the blockchain philanthropy, like from crypto philanthropy they have moved to blockchain philanthropy, and now they are moving towards the decentralized philanthropic system. And BitGive is and BlockGive is also another very good examples of this phenomena. So in a nutshell, what I see is that Zakat institutions need to realize that there is a benefit and potential in blockchain. And right now we are at the, we even like haven't started actually the Zakat, crypto Zakat phenomena. So we have to move from crypto Zakat phenomena to blockchain Zakat phenomena, and then DAO Zakat phenomena. So this is my proposition. And I think that within 2 to 3 years, conventional philanthropies will move towards the DAO phase, and we have to catch up with them as well. Thank you so much.